When we talk about the 5 themes of geography, we're talking about the words location, place, region, movement, and human-environment interaction. Let's take a closer look at how these terms apply to me. I'm standing in front of the City Hall building in the city of Hampton. Let's first talk about the concept of location. And location can be divided into 2 sections. You have relative location and then absolute location. Let's first talk about relative location. If I were to describe my relative location right now, I could say that the city of Hampton is south of Atlanta approximately 30 miles. I could say that the city of Hampton is located in the southwest corner of Henry County. I could say that the city of Hampton is located adjacent to a railroad track. I could say that we are approximately 10 miles west of Interstate 75. And then finally, I could say that we are approximately 8 miles north of the city of Griffin. And so those 5 statements were general in nature. That would be relative location. Now, when we're talking about absolute location, we're getting specific. And we're using the concepts of latitude and longitude to describe our actual location. So, for the city of Hampton, we are located 33.38616 degrees north and 84.282174 degrees west. That would be our absolute location, our specific location on Earth. Geographers also describe a location on the Earth in terms of place. And when we're talking about the place of the city of Hampton, let's first talk about that there are 4 cities in Henry County. You have Stockbridge in the north, you have McDonough in the central part of our county, then you have Locust Grove to the south, and in the southwestern corner you have the city of Hampton. I think the city of Hampton, the place of Hampton, it's known for the main street here, and you have this one row of buildings that have been redone to indicate how it would have looked in the 1940s or 1950s. The place of Hampton is a blend of cultures. You have white, African American, Hispanic, but you also have an Asian influence. And here on Main Street, this is a very popular restaurant, the Sushi and Steakhouse, Saki. The city of Hampton, in terms of place, it is limited in terms of shops and stores, and for example, for groceries, the residents of Hampton have to travel about 5 miles to the east to the nearest Publix. When talking about the place that is the city of Hampton, we can talk about the historic home districts that are near Main Street. And then as you travel outside the city, you see neighborhoods and subdivisions. Let's return to Main Street in Hampton to discuss the 3rd theme of geography, the theme of region. We'll take a look at the government region and a recreation region in the city. At the intersection of McDonough Street and East Main Street in Hampton, you have a region of our town that I would call the government region. And so you are looking at our City Hall building. And we'll pan over. Across the street, you have the police department building. And then across the street here, you have the old train depot building, and this is the location for our town museum, and also they hold community events in this building. This would represent a region of our town because in this location we have government facilities. The city of Hampton features a recreation region, and here in the city park we have tennis courts, we have a playground for young children, we have a basketball court, there is an area to play soccer and throw frisbees, and then they've added this skateboard ramp. So in this area of our city, the shared characteristic is sports and recreation. Another characteristic that makes the community of Hampton a distinct region is the number of Christian churches in the area. A few miles outside of the city of Hampton, you have this region of commerce, and ahead you see a gas station, and across the street the Wells Fargo Bank, and in this shopping center you have a variety of stores, hair salon, the Publix grocery store, an insurance store, a few restaurants. And so in this region, the shared characteristic is commerce, and people come here to purchase items from a gas station, exchange services at the bank, and here at the Publix grocery store. One of the ways in which people move in this area is by driving their car. And much of this area you see these two-lane roads. You're looking at right now Hampton Locust Grove Road, which connects the city of Hampton with the city of Locust Grove. In this shot you also see a bit of how the land looks in this area. We are in the Piedmont region of Georgia. The Piedmont region is located in the central part of the state, and the Piedmont region has the most people out of the five areas: Appalachian Plateau, Ridge and Valley, Blue Ridge, Piedmont, and Coastal Plain, because of course metropolitan Atlanta is located in the Piedmont region. But in terms of the terrain, notice the gently sloping hill, and that is a characteristic of the land in the Piedmont region. You are looking at Highway 1941, and the city of Hampton is just about a mile east of Highway 1941. And this four-lane road, before Interstate 75 came along, this is the road you would take if you wanted to travel from Atlanta to Florida. Of course, back then in the 1940s and 50s, it was a two-lane road. They've expanded it to a four-lane to accommodate the commuters who are traveling from Griffin and Hampton and Lovejoy and Jonesboro up to their jobs in the Atlanta area. One of the ways that people move around Henry County is by bus, and for Henry County students in a traditional school, they ride the school bus to school. In parts of Georgia, back in the 1930s, 1940s, 1950s even, people lived close to the town, and most of those school children walked to school. But because we are in the suburbs and subdivisions have sprouted in different areas that are quite a distance from where people work or where they go to school, people need transportation. And so the school bus is one example of movement. Here's another example of the movement of goods, the Publix grocery store in our area. Here is a truck delivering produce to the grocery store. Nowadays, people do not have their own gardens and farms like they did back in the mid-1900s. One of the things that makes Henry County attractive to businesses, large businesses, is its close proximity to Interstate 75. And behind me you see the Sports Authority warehouse and the trucks that are bringing goods to this distribution center, so that in turn the distribution center can take those goods out to the stores. In this area of Henry County, we have a new large warehouse. It's actually a distribution center. It's the Home Depot distribution center. And so that's a characteristic of this region, that because we are in close proximity to Interstate I-75, this area, this region is attractive to large corporations to build these warehouses so that they can get their goods to their customers in a timely manner. One of the ways in which my neighbors have interacted with the environment, they have planted a community garden. And so during the year, they have tomatoes growing here and peppers and other small vegetables. Here's an example of human-environment interaction. The area around the city of Hampton has grown exponentially in the past decade, and because of that increase in population, the local high school closest to the city of Hampton, which is Luella High School, has experienced tremendous growth, and as a result, the Board of Education purchased this property near the intersection of Highway 20 and Hampton Locust Grove Road in order to build Hampton High School. And so Hampton High School will open with students in the fall of 2014. Ahead you see the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and this is an example of human-environment interaction. As NASCAR has grown in popularity, the speedway facilities have grown substantially, and these events will attract almost 100,000 people. And so to accommodate the crowds, then land in the area has been purchased and is now used for parking. So here's another example of human-environment interaction, how humans interact with the environment.